They may use intense emotional displays using guilt tripping or self-victimization to gain and elicit sympathy and attention in order to gain power over that relationship. Welcome back to Men Plus 40. Today we're going to take a look at the female narcissist. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at them in various different situations, from relationships, friendships, and the work and business setting. So for context, some of this information will also be related to the male narcissist, as there'll be a crossover, as it's the same pathology for both genders. And this information is purely for you to focus on healthy relationships and identify problematic behaviours. Because remember, prevention is greater than the cure. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with a few examples of the male narcissist and manipulation. So let's start with aggression and intimidation. So for instance, he may employ overt tactics such as aggression, intimidation, or a form of confrontation to manipulate others. At this point, they can use their physical presence and dominant behaviour to assert control to gain compliance. Then you've got gaslighting techniques, whereby they undermine the perception of the said person's reality, the distortion of facts, and make the victim doubt their memory or perception to create confusion or even self-doubt. The other side of things as well, we may also seek to establish dominance over others in various contexts, engaging in power plays, attempting to control situations, to manipulate and maintain a sense of superiority. Now, if they're volatile, you've got narcissistic rage. So he may display volatile outbursts of anger or aggression where his control and superiority is challenged. This could be used as a means of manipulation to intimidate or frighten others into compliance. Now, with that said, as we're today in this instance focusing on the female narcissist, let's take a look how these manipulations may differ. So she may rely on more emotional manipulation tactics to achieve her goals. For instance, she may use guilt, sympathy, or play the victim card to manipulate emotions and then gain control over the target. Of course, there's other tactics as well. She may employ seductive or charming behaviours to manipulate, using perceived attractiveness, flattery, or flirtation to gain some attention, maybe admiration, or of course, material benefits. Then you have the sly ones. So, using covert manipulation. She may use more subtle and covert forms of manipulation, such as indirect suggestion, the manipulation of social dynamics, or manipulation through passive-aggressive behaviour. If she's on the more of the spectrum of the vulnerable narcissism, she may employ victimhood manipulation. She may exploit their perceived vulnerabilities or use victim status to manipulate. They may play the victim basically to elicit sympathy and use emotional manipulation to control and then gain an advantage within inside of those relationships. If we were to say switch this up a bit further, with a female narcissist which is comorbid with, say, borderline personality disorder, then there can be a combination of narcissistic and borderline traits, which can lead to a unique set of manipulation tactics. It's important to note, not all individuals engage in said manipulative behaviours, but those who do, here are some potential examples. So you have splitting, which involves seeing people as either all good or all bad, which is also known as black and white thinking. So they also may manipulate others by idolising them to gain their favour and their admiration, and then devaluing them when they perceive a slight rejection, as they are super sensitive to criticism that is perceived or otherwise causing a narcissistic injury. This manipulation tactic can create confusion and emotional instability, leaving them going up and down like the stock exchange through the crazy making behaviour. Then you have emotional manipulation to control and manipulate. They may use intense emotional displays using guilt tripping or self-victimization to gain and elicit sympathy and attention in order to gain power over that relationship. Then you have fear of abandonment. So with BPD, it's categorized by a fear of abandonment. And a female narcissist with comorbid BPD may exploit this fear in others. They may use threats of abandonment or withdrawal to control and manipulate, whereby coercing in order to get their needs met. Of course, with BPD, there's impulsive behaviours. So with impulsive and self-destructive behaviours, a female narcissist who is comorbid may use impulsive actions such as self-harm or threats of self-harm to manipulate and control others emotionally. They can be a way to elicit attention, sympathy, or make the other one feel guilty or responsible for that person's well-being. As you can imagine, this can be quite dangerous and disarming for people that are unaware of these behaviours. Then you have idealisation and devaluation cycles. May engage in like a cyclic pattern of idealisation and then devaluation with inside of these relationships. They may alternate between sharing their targets with excessive praise, attention and affection, and then devaluing them by criticising, so demeaning or emotional withdrawal. This cycle can manipulate others' emotions, creating a sense of dependency and instability. It's crucial to approach these situations with empathy and understanding, as individuals with narcissism and borderline personality often struggle with intense emotional pain and insecurity, which of course is going to lead them extremely dysregulate. However, it's important to set and maintain strong boundaries to protect one's well-being when dealing with manipulative behaviours. The best course of action in most cases is no contact and then moving on with your life. Don't think about revenge. Your revenge is both healing and living your best life. As you can heal, and the best that they can do is manage their behaviours, as there's no cure for narcissism. It's different with borderline personality disorder, but it may take years of work and discipline in most cases to eradicate these series of behaviours. In part 2, I'll cover the scenarios in a business setting and in terms of friendships. Until then, stay safe. And remember, healthy relationships are key to winning at life.